Hello, and welcome to the Tower of Polychromatic Zero mobile guide. To get to the tower, go over here to the credits area, and then you see this blue thing. Push it over, and there's this mushroom that you can color. There's also a red one, because the tower is red and blue. It's really, really creative. 10 out of 10 portal location. Boom, and then it'll turn half blue, and then you can go over here and get this red one. 2PZ, it's a little bit client object heavy. It's pretty unforgiving. It has two or three major outside sections that just make you lose all your progress if you fail. It's not that fun, but if you want to do it, go ahead. I'd say it's about average in terms of quality of gameplay out of the SCs. Start off on floor 1, climb up here, climb onto this truss, or fail that. Climb onto the truss, flick out against the wall and jump over here. Flick in onto this truss, then jump when it's on the bottom, climb back, and when it's on the top, jump to the slope. Jump from the bottom of the slope onto there, then jump to the bottom part of the slope and off right away. Take this wider than you think, and then just walk against the wall until you go under the cylinder. Flick off here, and then take that tighter than you think. You can do a nice little skip. You can jump around to this side and then jump onto the truss. Or you can do the intended way, just go across these. Go up here, jump in between that gap, and then climb onto the ledge. Do that like a long jump. And then you can tap on these things to make them solid. Tap and then jump off quickly. Tap on these to be able to walk through them. Just be careful, mind the kill bricks. Jump's not super hard. Then wait for the truss to come around. Then you can try and dodge the kill brick. I mostly just tank them, flick over that wall there, and then climb up and jump off to land on the platform. Jump to this end and walk around the ball. Tap on this and then flick off. Jump to the bottom of this and then jump from the bottom to here. Jump onto this spinning thing, jump off, and then go to this truss. And then hit this button, zoom your camera out, and then tap on these two ledges to make the box hit the button. Head over here, climb up this truss. Flick in there, tap, and then do the wrap quickly. Jump back and then forwards again. Jump around here and then tap on these walls. Make sure you're lined up right. Tap and then turn sideways. Flick off to here. Aim to climb that. Flick off. Just be careful on this. Walk around on the underside. Jump down to here and then to here. Forwards facing on this, and then take this tighter than you think. Flick off the truss. And then for this part, when the right one's about to go around, you jump so you completely avoid it. And then tap this as the left one pops out, and then repeat the same thing where you're jumping right before the right one pushes you. And then once again, left one goes. Practice this a bit to learn the timing, and then you should be 100% consistent, and then long jump down to here. Jump up, and then you can shift flick off the truss onto the platform. Do this jump backwards, and then do the head hitter from the middle of the slope. Careful through that part, tap it, and then go. You have a bit of leeway. Jump around to here, tap it, then flick up. Once again, you have a bit of leeway on these. Just make sure you tap them properly. Jump off the edge of that slope. Tap, and then go. And then you can either jitter click, or I like to butterfly kick on this. It's up to personal preference. Just spam. Do a 180 like that. And then be careful on there. Flick in, and then flick so you're facing the truss on there. Wait for the thing to pop out, and then shift flick and do the jump non-stop. Jump up here, tap it, and jump to the side of this, because the truss is only on the side. And then climb up, and then flick onto the slope, just like a head hitter. Be careful on this truss flick, not super hard. Climb down here, and then jump off, and then you're going to want to tap, and then 3 flicks. Go as fast as you can. Ignore the kill brick on the top. Just make sure you're landing back on the truss. Do the same thing. If you struggle at these quick camera movements, make sure to practice this and just make sure you have it down. And then jump from the top of this, flick out a bit, and then jump around to the lower part and aim to climb it. Just mind these poles here, get the timing down. And then on this jump, wait for the wall to go unsolid, wait a bit, and then right before it becomes solid again, you're going to want to jump and then time it so you make it through the green one without bonking into that. You're going to jump up here, hit the button, and land on the activated platform below. Do this forward facing. Aim for this truss here, and then just hold forward and flick off. Angle yourself in this gap, and then do that like a head hitter. Just be careful on this. And then on this section, you only want to flick off when the truss is actually pushing into you. So you can see the truss is pushing me back, so then I flick, and you'll have to wait a bit. But otherwise, you can sometimes not get your jump. So again, just wait until the truss is kind of pushing into you to ensure that you jump. This head hitter, tap there, go right away. That one's pretty tight. And then get onto the kind of corner of this truss, turn out a bit, climb down to right about there, and then jump off onto the platform. Tap this and then go, and then do that head hitter. Ignore the ladder there, just jump to the top. Go to the left side of this, climb down, make sure your head is just above the platform, and then jump off. Do this flick. I like to go backwards on this, backwards, and then turn in to land that jump. Pretty difficult. I'd recommend practicing all of 6. And then go first person backwards along this wall, and then flick onto the truss. Flick onto here, and now you are on 6 outside. If you fail here, you will be back at the start, but you only have to do this once. So wait for the walls, tap, walk, and then jump late. Tap, walk, and then jump late again. Make sure you get that down. That's the hardest part of 6 out, I'd say. Don't need to take that super tight, just make sure you land it. And then once more, you have another one of these sections. Wait for this to sync up. You can wait for a few cycles if you need to. Tap on this, and then just move a tiny bit. You don't need to move a ton. Just make sure you're not bonking into any of the walls, and then jump off to this platform. Jump onto this. Be careful on this jump. Just make sure you line it up. Go on the left side of this to make it a bit shorter. Flick in. Do this like a long jump. Now you're back inside, and then tap on this and wall hop up here. Go onto this truss, and then flick diagonally out to land it. Be careful on this, it's not super hard. Just make sure to wait a bit and line up the jump. I actually rushed it a bit. And then tap this, jump onto the truss. Get the button. And now you have button progress, so you don't have to do 6 out again. And for that, you can go over here. And then there's these lightning bolt style platforms. You can climb up, do the wall hop again. And then do this jump again. Again, you just want to move like diagonally backwards on that to land the jump. Do this sideways, flick in there. Be careful on this. Go onto the bottom platform here, and then just do it like a 3-stud stick out. Go in between the gap there, and then walk over, climb to the top of this, and jump off. Just ignore the truss and jump on top like a head hitter. Slot your way in between that gap, and then walk over to there. Be careful on this. Tap it when this disappears, and then jump when it reappears. Be careful there. Climb up the truss, and then wait for this and jump to the bottom part. So this is a pretty difficult jump. I'd say practice it. And then you're going to want to walk off onto the truss. Just be careful here. Hit this button, and then you can flick down and there's a platform, and jump up and do this head hitter. Then you're going to flick onto the 2-stud climb up. You're not going to fail it. You're going to do it. And then do this backwards like so, and climb onto the truss, flick out and in and back in there. Again. And then climb a bit below the ceiling, and then set up the head hitter like so. Ledge grab on this, and then jump down to the platform. Just ignore this lodge and jump to the platform. This ladder jump is actually kind of hard. Just line it up, and then just jump normally off the ladder after climbing down a bit. Go in first person right here, tap on this, and then inch your way through the gap. I like to go first person and backwards on this jump. It's up to personal preference, but it's just a simple jump to the truss here. And then you can flick out to this platform. Then you have to tap on this and do a corner flip. Go backwards and flick out back in on that. Walk onto the ball to move yourself onto the platform. Go wider than you think to not bonk your head. And then you got to go tap and go right away, like so. And then make sure you watch out for these top platforms and hit the teleporter. And now for this next section, after this jump, you're going to have 2 options to choose from, blue or red. You can either do 2 blue challenges or 2 red challenges. I would strongly recommend going with the blue. That's what I'll show. The blue is significantly easier than the red challenges, at least in my opinion on mobile. All right, so starts off, this is the harder challenge with this long jump. Tap this, go up right away, and just walk into the top to stand on the platform. Tap this, and this is a teleporter you can jump to. Then tap this, do the flick off here and climb up. Wait for this to be lined up and flick out onto the truss. Tap on this bottom one, jump, go over to the truss, tap on the top one, flick, and then flick again. Now you have this moving platform. Make sure you look where you're going. You can zoom out a bit to see. It's not a super hard jump. And you have time before the wall reappears. Again, set this one up. And then one last hard jump, flick in there, jump onto this spinning platform, and then jump onto this one and long jump to the teleporter. One more challenge to go. Again, do this weird spinning platform jump. And then make your way over to this challenge. Jump and then flick your way down here. Careful not to fall off. Go to this one and then move forwards and flick onto the platform. High jump up there. Make sure you don't walk off the X pusher and then just tap it and jump through. You have quite a bit of time before the platform reappears. Tap this, do this 2-step climb over. If you don't make it, just drop onto the platform, wait for it to reappear and do it again, and then flick in on that last jump. And you've done both the challenges. So you basically beat the tower at this point, unless you fail 9, but you'll always have 8 done from here. As you can see, get a nice button up to here. Then you can walk over, jump onto these, and then jump onto the truss and flick up here. All right, jump over onto this truss and then inch your way through the gap. It might take a bit. You can kind of like hold jump. Just make sure you don't get flung. Jump to the edge of this truss and go like that. Climb up to there and jump off. Then you're going to want to do an upwards momentum jump onto that platform. This is just a 10 stud. You have plenty of time before the wall reappears, so make sure you set it up. Go backwards there, and then you can tap on these red kill bricks to make them deactivate. That will be useful in a bit. Take this tighter than you think, and then tap on this and jump to the middle of these platforms. Tap on that, and then go here. You can do this backwards or forwards, and then walk through this 1-stud gap. Jump onto these spinners and jump over here. Do this head hitter, move back and then forward again. Go back and then to the left to make that jump. Walk forwards facing onto the truss in first person, and then inch your way through this gap. It's a little bit weird, but you should be able to make it through eventually. Just set this up like a long jump however you want. Tap this and then do the jump. Make sure you're on safe ground. Tap on this and then either shift flick or flick onto the truss. Flick off. Inch your way into that gap. And then jump to this teleporter. Not a super hard jump. Alright, now you're back on an outside section, but this one isn't super bad. Make sure the walls are out of the way before you go for the jump. Just be super careful. Jump onto this truss. Jump onto here. And now, my least favorite part of the tower, go super fast, tap it, do the walk around as soon as you can, and then jump off and backwards onto the platform. You can exit first person, and then do this next jump, either forwards or backwards. It's a pretty basic snake wrap. Jump over to here. Be careful, make sure you want to avoid touching any of the walls at all because it can mess up your height. Just be super careful. Take it wider than you think. Again, wider than you think. You don't want to bonk into these. And then long jump over to the ladder. Be careful to climb up. Then jump over to this teleporter and you are basically on floor 10. You can walk against the back wall and then turn forwards facing. Jump over to here. Line this jump up to the truss. And then be careful to not bonk into the wall on that. Climb up the slope, and now you're on 10. Tap this, and you have quite a bit of time. This thing takes a while. Tap it again, and then go up this truss. Go to the front of the half stud, and then shift lock so you are in the lodge walk, and then walk forward and jump. You should get pushed out and up onto the platform. Be careful on this. Take it a bit tighter than you think. Make sure you know what you're doing on that jump. And then again, you have a nice little bit of time on these. So tap this one, and then tap this one, and then go to make sure you don't take any damage from those. Flick in there. Wait for this spinner to move back. Jump to it, and then stand at the very back of the spinner. Once the front wall moves past, jump, and then walk forward into the front wall to align yourself on the platform. Tap on this kill wreck and jump to the middle there. Jump over to this truss. Make sure you're on the very left side of the truss. Tap on this and then shift lock onto the platform. Walk on this one stud, and then mainly don't change your camera angle for that jump. Tap on this and then do this head hitter. You can save there. Again, ledge grab on this platform, and then tap this and jump off to there. You have plenty of time to do that. Forwards facing onto this ladder. Do that. Do the head hitter. Tap on either side of these, and then jump around back onto the top platform you were just on. Shift lock into this lodge walk, and then do this little head hitter. All right, a long jump onto these spinners, and then go forward facing off. Make sure you set this up, it's pretty far. Aim to climb it. Now you're on the final stretch. Quick on these parts, but you do have a second to align if you need it. I like to just go non-stop though. Not super hard, just make sure you practice this. Jump, and then once it's on the back side, jump to the forward one and hold jump off. Jump onto this one stud. Careful, one stud onto here, and then do this last long jump. Congratulations, you have beaten the Tower of Polychromatic 0. Got a nice little win room. It has a bit of a obby in here. Pretty cool tower. Definitely practice all the outside sections. Final stretch, 6 out, 8 out, 9 out. That's about it. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.